Try to use something like a noodle here.
Hi, my name is Marcus Yang. I've been playing golf for about a little less than 3 years now. I shoot around 2 to 3 over. I think one of the pros that I have is my distance and my short game. And then for my cons, probably consistency. I could play really well. I think I'm capable of doing that. But then there's also times where I kind of play bad, more times than I would like. And then today I just kind of want to fix my falling back. I fall back a lot and I kind of flip over. So I'll just hit a couple balls now.
Hey Marcus, how we doing tonight?
Good.
Good. So Marcus has been with us here now for a few years since we've opened, so he's one of our longtime students. We're very fortunate enough to have him here. Coach Mr. O and I work with him side by side at times. So we know that he is our John Rahm. As we'll look at the golf swing here, he actually shorter than John Rahm, but very tall, young individual, very strong, so he can actually get away with it. With other students, we like a little bit bigger backswing, but with him, we know his strengths. He is a strong young individual, so we're never going to change that. But we do have to change how his footwork works through the golf swing. So as we play these two swings here, first shot here, as you can see, Mr. Marcus here, this thing is swinging again right to left a little bit too much. So as we can see on the numbers here, our club path is very high. So as he falls back into the shot, he's gonna come back from the inside and flip this thing, and that's what causes him the inconsistent shots. So if we could please go to the swing here, clear the lines here, and let's draw a line on his left side there. Good. And now let's bring it about halfway back. So Marcus does a really good job of actually keeping his head forward here, okay? A very good position. We can see that he's kind of stacked on his left side a little bit there. Posture looks awesome there. Let's draw a line on his forehead, please. As he brings it back, he does take this a little bit out and gets the shaft a little bit too vertical. So we'll probably address that today a little bit. So continue the swing and let's get it going up to the top. Now he drops it. He kind of gets very laid off here. And this club is going to start dropping down underneath, and that's why his path is very high from +7. And as you can see, he's kind of backed off the line there a little bit too much from the forehead coming back into the swing. Okay, there you go, good. And you know what, Marcus, this is actually one of your better shots getting into your left side. So as I look at this, we are going to continue getting into the left side correctly, but you notice how much side bend you have here in relationship to your hip. So you're coming in here and you're going like this. Okay, let's go ahead and set up here. First thing we're going to address is your takeaway. Okay, so your takeaway is getting a little bit too high, gets vertical, and as it does that, it drops down underneath, and that's what causes you to kind of flip it a little bit. Okay. But let's always check your alignment as well. Okay, you're another player that comes into the studio here who has a hard time aiming a little bit. So let's look at his setup here. But Marcus, for you to make sure that we get our club path correct, let's make sure that we align correctly. Now if you step back a little bit, how does that look like to you?
A touch left. It looks fine other than that though.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay. Now where's our ball position? What are we hitting here? We're hitting a 9 iron?
Yeah,
Okay,
9 iron.
So ball position, if we go to the live camera, it's not too bad. I would still say it's a little bit more forward than what it needs to be. So perfect, good. And what I really like to think about on the takeaway is, imagine that there's a rod in this hand here, that it just moves on your foot line. You see how you have that foot line alignment stick there? It should just move on that line and then the club just goes up. Okay? What you're doing is you're getting the hands a little bit too out away from that alignment stick, causes you to get up here and causes you to lay off at the top even more. Okay? Now vice versa, what would happen if we pull this club inside, we'd get steep and underneath and cross at the top. Okay, so if we overfix it, we're gonna get the opposite over the top and falling underneath. So really work on this good takeaway of the club here, and then when we get halfway through the golf swing, want to make sure that this face is not perfectly perpendicular, but not shut either. Little bit of a angled face to match our spine angle here. We're on top of it, very nice. From there, turn your shoulders up. Good. Now as you come back down, you apply pressure to your left side there. Good. Head stays back though, let's not cheat. Okay? And then you stay on top of that ball and release. And that club stays right in front of you. Okay? Step one is gonna be your takeaway. We gotta clean that up. So good takeaway, there you go. Awesome. Good, the hands move really nice, that's better. Up the plane. Now let's try that line on the head here. And I always like to draw a line up the shaft line, see how we move it. So that's not bad, but you see how that shaft lifts outside that line kind of early? So we want the hands to follow on that line. Maintain that, and that's why we start getting vertical with that shaft early. That's why you lay it down and gets it underneath. But right here is where we gotta fix. Okay, we've lost a little bit of our shaft angle. Now the root cause of that is because of your path, okay? You're gonna have a very hard time to have good shaft lean if you're coming underneath. Your body's reacting to your club coming from underneath. So for me to tell you, try to get that shaft lean from this position, I'd be doing you a disservice.
Right.
Our goal here is to really make sure that we get you back more on plane. So it just goes back to when you're practicing is setting up your drills correctly, taking an alignment stick, okay? And you want to go about between your foot line and the ball about halfway, stick an alignment stick in the ground. And then for you, you want to angle it about hip high here, okay? So when you bring this back, so here's the mistake I see a lot with players. Go ahead and set up again. When that is angled perfectly over your hip there, pretty good on that. What I see when I put this alignment stick out for players, they get nervous and they actually push away from that stick. I've put this in a position where your club head cannot go inside, so I actually want you to get close to it on the takeaway. I want this close here and then going up the plane and then back down the plane, okay? So if you watch this, you're gonna bring it back a few times. Try to get that club near that blue alignment stick. There we go, that gets your hands in a very good position on the takeaway. So do not pull away or push away on the takeaway from that alignment stick. So go slow. There you go, good. So let's see that replay there. And let's bring it back slowly here. Still lifting, so again, that's gonna be your homework. You're gonna have to really trust that you take that club away and get close to that. So as a junior golfer with a lot of potential leading up to your career, try to use something like a noodle here that costs us $3 at your local store, Walmart. That way if you hit it, you're not gonna injure yourself. So protect your hands, which is really important in golf. Again, you're gonna go, almost try to touch the shaft with that line, okay? Go slow. So we've completely changed your path now. We're going over the top a little bit. But for you, Marcus, you're gonna be very diligent when you do this. Meaning, I don't want full speed swings. I want you to do about 50% because as you can see, you're still taking that club a little bit further outside than what we desire. We really gotta hammer this home, and when we're doing full speed, the body will never get used to it. So this next one, I want you to swing and be diligent where this club is at on the takeaway. Be very diligent. There you go. Still lifting it though. So here, one more for me. I want you to go very slow and do a checkpoint here. Okay? There you go, good. A little bit more. So I don't want your wrist doing this to get the club in there. I want you to turn your shoulders to get that.
Yeah.
There you go, good. Much better. Use the shoulders. Create that width. Good. There you go. Go slower. Now, let's take this away. Now, let's get one more here without it. Okay, really feel that club a little bit more in front of you. Okay, now out away from you. There you go, good. Very nice. So, we started the lesson here with your path being what?
7.
7. Extremely high. We've dropped it down with just a few drills here to 2, 2.5. That's extraordinary. That's a lot when we're talking about degrees in golf. You know, 5 degrees is huge. So now if we look at this, much closer. Much, much, much better there. You're getting to your left side very nice on the screen over here. You're loading up on the left leg. So, really good work tonight. So your homework is gonna be alignment stick for your foot line, alignment stick angled, so you're not coming from the inside too much. But I also really want you to make sure that when you take it away, that you get really close to that alignment stick. Don't push away, don't be afraid of it.
Okay.
So as you do that, once we've taken it away, then you have that freedom. And you actually got your path to exactly where we want to be. You have any questions?
So just when I'm on the course or when I'm like in a tournament,
Yeah.
I just feel kind of like follow this stick on in front of my feet.
Exactly.
Just take it back during that line.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, great question. So how do you take this drill here into tournament mode, or actually on the golf course? It goes back to what Mr. O and I always talk about. You practice with diligence. So let's use a different word. Let's use rehearsal. Now the difference between practice and rehearsal, practice is people use lines, they read it, that's practicing. Rehearsal is they do it without, you know, their lines. They're actually rehearsing to perform how they really would for that play. So I want you to rehearse like you're actually gonna play on the driving range. I don't want you practicing and just, oh, okay, the stick is there. You're not thinking. Because I think sometimes we use drills and you just do it.
Right.
Because you know that drill's there. I want you to understand, Marcus, when you're here, I have that alignment stick. I'm rehearsing. My shoulders pushing, my shoulders turning, and my hands extending out on my left arm. Really rehearsing that, not just, oh, the stick is there. It's gonna save me. That's the biggest mistakes with juniors. They're not disciplined enough. The elite juniors are disciplined enough to just change it from practice to actual rehearsal. And I want you, you're gonna be an elite player, so let's get a little bit more diligent on, instead of practicing, let's rehearse it correct, okay? Awesome.
Thank you.
Yep.